ready for the video?
Yes.
Let's do it.
If you're really concerned about your children,
Yes.
if you're truly moment to moment is more important than all the nonsense that you're providing, isn't it so?
I would agree.
Isn't it so?
Oh, 100%.
Yes or no?
We're stressing him out and everybody out by being here. So go home and sleep. And I was like, oh, yeah, it sounds weird when you put it that way.
If
sure.
your body and your mind is more energized and active,
Do it for 2 hours a day.
I like that. Feeling like I wouldn't be good at it. I have such a…
Little fear.
Yeah, I have such a distracted mind. And honestly, like, yoga was the first step for me. I wasn't listening to anybody. I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to turn into a crazy person because I'm staying in this hospital.
Present practice. What's conscious? This is Vish
I'm Kat.
and today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Where is a time for yoga?
My name is Vish. I'm an aspiring yogi, love all things wisdom, meditation, and yoga based. Super grateful to have Kat on the show. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kat. Thank you for having me. I'm a model in the Texas area, and I also enjoy all things artistic.
Well, thanks for being here, Kat. What does yoga mean to you? I'm curious. Before we start the video, what does that mean?
Ooh, good question. I think it means two things to me, and I probably should keep them combined instead of separate, but sometimes yoga to me is just a way to physically help my body to reset or to get the kinks out or to feel more alive. Honestly, after I do yoga, I feel more alive. And then sometimes it is actually more for my mind to actually calm down or to feel more present in the moment. So yeah, I probably should be a combination, but I tend to separate them.
Well, thanks for sharing that, and we'd love to hear what you all think about what yoga means before we start the video. If you have time for, or if it's something that you do, just let us know in the comments down below. With that,
Let's start the video.
Pranams, Sadhguru. I get up at 6 a.m.
I'm sorry?
I get up at 6 a.m. Hurry cooking. Get the children ready. Start by 8:30 a.m. to the office. Back from the office by 6:30. Then freshening up the children, myself, prayer, cook food, homework, sleep. In this hectic schedule, where
this
can
I think
fit
is a
yoga
great
in my
question.
life?
Oh yeah.
I'm eager to hear this.
Now, you get up at 6 o'clock and whatever time you go to bed, you have a busy day. Where is the time for yoga? You have time to eat, you have time to gossip, you have time to work, you have time to take care of everything, but you have no time to take care of yourself. That's what you're telling me. Now, this attitude is like you try to act like a martyr all the time. I have no time for myself, I'm giving myself totally to everybody. What is it that you're giving? Your agitations, irritations, your anxieties, passing it on to children,
Great.
isn't it? If you're really concerned about your children,
Yes.
if you're truly concerned about your children, creating a joyful and loving atmosphere
Keyword
for their
again,
growth
joy.
is most important. Not providing them shiny boots, not providing them better clothes, not providing them video games, not providing them something else is important. You creating an atmosphere of joy and love around them on a daily basis, moment to moment, is more important than all the nonsense that you're providing, isn't it so?
I would agree.
Isn't it so?
Oh, 100%.
Yes or no? So what is your focus about life? If you are able to manage your work and your children, everything, do it. If you are unable to, do what you can do. Everybody can only do that much, isn't it? You want to do everything in the world, you will definitely go insane. How much you can do, each individual has to decide. Somebody may be able to get up at 6 o'clock and do all these things joyfully. Somebody else is not able to do. Accordingly, they have to adjust their life, isn't it? Now you have not gotten into all this, not because that's what you want to do, You are trying to be like somebody else. That's your whole problem. You want to have what other people have. You don't know whether you really need it or not. With all this work, what you have earned, your children, your husband, your wife or whatever, you are no more enjoying it. Then why do you need all this? All these things you created because you thought this is the source of your joy, isn't it? But right now, that has become the source of your anxiety and misery.
Facts.
Then you better look at the fundamentals of your life once again, isn't it? Isn't it so? You got educated, you found a job, you married, you produced children, all this why? Because you thought this is going to be the source of your happiness and well-being, isn't it so? But now that is taking your life. If it is so, you must look at it. One thing is, maybe if you're incapable of handling it, maybe you have to scale it down. If you're capable of enhancing your capabilities, you must do that. Now, if you invest, let us say, even 30 minutes a day into your yoga, you will see you will gain immensely, even in terms of time. One first thing that will happen is, your sleep quota will come down. Now if you're sleeping for 8 hours a day, that means 1/3 of your life you're sleeping it off, isn't it? 1/3 of your life you're just sleeping it off.
Yeah, it sounds weird when you put it that way.
If your body and your mind is more energized and active, your sleep quota will naturally come down. So if you gain 3-4 hours a day, just in terms of wakefulness, that's a huge thing, isn't it? Apart from that, if your body and mind was more organized, you would see. What I have found with people is, with simple process of yoga, within 6 to 8 weeks, lot of them, their level of performance becomes such. What they were doing in 8 hours, they're very easily able to do it in 3 to 4 hours. Simply because if you observe yourself through the day…
Wow.
Suppose we take a video of your whole day without you being aware of it, you will notice how much unnecessary movement and unnecessary words and unnecessary activities are happening in your life. You must do it one day. Please hire a video cameraman and ask him to shoot you without you knowing about it. You will see how many unnecessary things you're doing in a day. If your mind became more organized, these unnecessary words, these unnecessary actions, these unnecessary things will disappear. Once they go away, you have lot of time, you have 24 hours to live, you know. Now, we don't have to make this into 26 hours, 24 hours are enough. We can do a lot in 24 hours. If we are organized and focused human beings, we can do plenty in 24 hours' time. If you're disorganized and unfocused, you think there is no time. Most of you are not busy, you're just preoccupied, aren't you? Isn't it so? Isn't it so?
Wow.
Just too much preoccupation in the mind.
Not busy but preoccupied.
So, whoever the lady,
So,
please invest this half an hour a day. Get up at 5:30, okay? And you will see, suddenly the quality of your life will be very different. Don't go on with this argument, I have no time. Make time and see, it'll make a huge difference.
Kat, what do you think of this one?
I like it, and I have found this to be true too. Not saying I'm good at it, I have to remind myself this again when I start lapsing back into being preoccupied and not making time for things and feeling like I have no time for anything. But yeah, it's absolutely true. I agree.
I love that too, and I can relate because I've heard this one quote, I forget who said this, it might be like a joke quote too, but I think it definitely fits with this, which is, they said that if you have time to meditate, do it for an hour a day. If you don't have time to meditate, do it for 2 hours a day.
I like that.
And so I think it connects with this, right? Because at least from what I've seen, I've heard this quite a bit. I mean, considering, and I'm saying this not out of pride, but just out of gratitude, I'm really grateful. I've been meditating every single day for the past 4 years now. Haven't been consistent with many things in life, but that is one thing I've been very consistent with. And I can say that I've definitely noticed the making of time, right? obviously you're not creating time per se, but what is happening here is that you're less preoccupied, like you said, and you're able to be more clear and more quote unquote intentional with what you do, more just conscious at the end, and as a result, you're more productive. So you're better using your energy. Have you tried meditation yourself before?
I have not. I mean, not consistently or for a long period of time or anything. Sometimes I've incorporated it into my yoga. So that was while I was doing yoga, but other than that, I'm not very experienced in meditation.
Well, that's okay. It's something I would definitely recommend for you. Let me ask you this, as someone that hasn't really done much of meditation, what is holding you back, or what has held you back from trying it? I want to hear your honest perspective here.
Probably not good reasons. Probably thinking I don't have time for it. And also feeling like I wouldn't be good at it. I have such a
little fear.
Yeah, I have such a distracted mind. And honestly, like, yoga was the first step for me for trying to calm my distracted mind and focus my thoughts. So, I mean, maybe I'm ready to take the next step and try meditation. But
Maybe this video that we're doing together will be that little next step.
yeah, I mean, it definitely seems worth trying. I just would need to, I guess, figure out how to do it and give it a shot. So
I think that's where what I recommend for you, and even for those of y'all watching right now that are new to meditation, I would say doing guided meditations are, I think, a great first step. Whether it's meditation apps, I personally initially use Headspace. Have you heard of that?
I have. Actually, now that you said that, I did try that when I had trouble sleeping, and I did fall asleep sometimes, so I don't think that counts as meditating if I fall asleep.
That's okay, but you've tried Headspace, and I would actually recommend it quite a bit, because that's what got me first into meditation, to be honest. And I think it's a great app in the sense that they are able to ease and walk you. It's almost like, imagine being given a set of training wheels, and then eventually, as you do it more and more, like, you yourself will let go of these training wheels.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a beautiful app. Definitely recommend it.
Cool.
So check it out. And Sadhguru himself actually does have meditations, which I would highly recommend as well.
Yeah, cool.
It's so there's one program. It's called Inner Engineering. That does require a bit more of, like, let's say, dedication, in the sense that it's like there's an online version of it now, but it requires a certain amount of hours of effort, and then you do the practice, which itself is actually only 20 to 30 minutes. So I think that's what he's referring to. But then there's actually another meditation called Isha Kriya, which I'll send you the link for afterwards.
Thanks.
It's actually a guided meditation just by him. It's free, and it's very powerful. In fact, quick side story here. Beginning of pandemic, family, and I think it's pretty normal and natural. Everyone's going crazy, and at this point I've been meditating, so I was like, listen guys, you all need to meditate. I got them to do 90 days straight, and I kid you not, the effects were crazy. It was night and day as to how they were in terms of, like, the craziness and just overall their joyful states.
Really?
So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Awesome. That's awesome. That's really encouraging to hear.
Definitely recommend it. And now, tying this all back to the topic itself, with making the time for yoga, any other takeaways that you had from the video?
Yes, I loved what he said, how he turned around to focus on it being about other people too, because it's very easy to have that martyr complex of, like, I'm doing everything for everyone, I'm working my butt off, I'm doing everything I can, I don't have time for me, woe is me. And, like, I've had to learn that lesson. I still have to learn it, I mean, sometimes. But, like, I think I especially learned that when my husband first got sent to the hospital, when we first found out he had cancer, and things were really, really bad, and I wouldn't leave his side. But they were also, like, he was in the ICU and everything, and then he was getting moved all around the hospital while they were trying to figure out what to do with him. And so I wasn't able to get any sleep. And he had some other people there who were trying to help him out, and he was asking them to take care of me and make sure I got rest. And I wasn't listening to anybody. I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to turn into a crazy person because I'm staying in this hospital. And it took a good friend taking me aside and being like, look, if you want to take care of your husband, you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And you are stressing him out and everybody out by being here. So go home and sleep. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was definitely an eye-opener and a wake-up. And I think it's helpful for people when you feel like you have no time, or like taking care of yourself is somehow a selfish thing. But it's not. It's another way to serve the people around you, because if you're not whole and if you're not healthy, then you're just spewing, or you're half living to the people around you, when you could be doing so much more, and you could be so much happier, and you could work so much better and be so much more organized. So yeah, I definitely, I love that like doing yoga or meditation is not just a service to yourself, but it's a service to other people too.
I love that, Kat. Thank you so much for sharing. Again, just a beautiful perspective there, as well as I think very powerful transparency there with your experiences and insight. And yeah, I very much agree. I think it's really important, as he says, to really focus on yourself. And it might come off as selfish. You might think that you're selfish, at least the conventional way we look at the word itself, selfish. He actually has a different view on it, so I'll tell you more about that afterwards.
Ooh, okay.
You can maybe watch the video after this. Yeah. But the key is, if you can't take care of yourself, you cannot give your all to the others. So beautifully well put from your experience, and I could tell it really rang within you. And I want to thank you so much, Kat, for being here. I want to share with the viewers where they can find you. Yeah,
thank you so much for having me. So if you're interested in seeing more of my modeling work, I'm on Instagram, ewyn.modeling. And I think there will be a link down below.
Yes, all of our stuff will be down below.
Cool.
If you have any other video reaction requests or topics that you want to see, whether it's other guests as well, you can also comment down below. And with that, make a great day. Take this joyful and stay conscious. Awesome job, Kay. You did great.
Thank you.
Perfect.